Hot. So everyone's been really talking about the whole bioactive versus simple setup thing. And, you know, you have people they're either all about natural setups, they're all about simple setups, they're all about racks, they're all about Bavaria, whatever. So, Luke Myers and David Brahms and myself talk on a regular basis. And Luke did something really cool that I wanted to do a video on that kind of combines the two in a sense. Not a full-blown naturalistic Bavaria, but it's also kind of adds a little something to a simple setup that looks really good and probably is decent enrichment and humidity control for like chondros. So I'm going to show you what that is. Let's see, can I flip this? I can't. Alright. So what you can see here is this is one of the water bowl holders from David that just mounts to the side with 3 screws. That one's not very tight. So when you order these, they come with the hardware, you know, the stuff you need. It's very heavy duty. It's actually pretty heavy unit. So what I'm gonna do is put my phone down. So I just have your standard pothos here. This has been growing in my tadpole tub for a little while. As you can see, it's doing really well. I have one of these like 32-ounce deli cups with a little sort of homemade ABG mix of sorts. It's just organic soil, some lump charcoal, natural lump charcoal, and I want to say a little bit of, there's some cypress in there somewhere, and some other stuff. So pretty much, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to shove it down in there. Plant it. And Luke, like these things from David are originally meant to be a water bowl holder, but with what Luke did with it, it is going to be a plant holder. Let me see, I'm trying to do this so you can see it. So this kind of combines the two concepts of, you know, having some sort of natural plants or, you know, organic soils, whatever, that you would have with natural Bavaria. Once this grows out, you know, I'm hoping it'll grow along these perches more. But Luke did this with some of his setups, and it looks really good. So I'm going to try it out. I think, because you notice with the neonates and stuff that I have, that I keep like a single pothos leaf growing out of the water bowl. I have noticed personally, and this is completely anecdotal, so don't quote me on it. I've noticed personally that it is considerably more humid in the tub with those leaves in there. Obviously, that's a much smaller space, but I really think, you know, a lot of people talk about enrichment and, you know, giving your snake something different to sort of investigate and stuff. This is a good good option. Very cheap to do. Pothos is easy to find. You could probably use philodendron. Those are also very easy to find. So, that's in there now. I think it'll do well. That light, it'll eat up. I love those little lights. I've talked about those a lot. Those little LEDs, they're great. So, humidity control, it'll help with that. 2 things you need to make sure you absolutely do when you're doing this. Use organic soil. No fertilizers, none of that, no pesticides. And then if you have a plant that you bought from like Lowe's or Home Depot or a hardware store, make sure you really rinse it off really well. And then ideally, I'd suggest that you plant it in the organic soil that you're going to be using, and then let it cycle out for probably about a month or so, like you would with dart frogs, just to make sure that you don't introduce any sort of chemicals or anything to your snake. Like I said, that pothos has been growing in this tub for a long time now, a couple months. I'm growing some spares now too, actually, in here for water bowls and such. So, specialtyenclosuredesigns.com. You can get these. You don't have to use the really deep one. I like that one because it's a little heavier. I don't have to worry about the chondro flipping it or pushing it out or anything like that. I think it'll look better once that plant grows more, which I think it will. Easy to install. It took me literally like a minute to put it on there. SpecialtyEnclosureDesigns.com is where you can pick them up. Along with all the other stuff David does. You know, these awesome little hooks I've talked about in the past. These little mini micro hooks. I call them a pen hook. These are great for baby snakes, baby chondros, baby antaresia. So I'm planning to do this with the cyanea cages, probably the pair down there. It's a little something, gets their little gears turning. I don't mind enrichment. What I like to do, especially with the rat snakes, is I'll take a small box, something like a Q-tip box or whatever else, cut a small hole in it, big enough for the snake to get out after it's eaten. I'll put a mouse in there, and then I'll stick it in the cage, and then they kind of have to spend some time finding it and hunting, in a sense. So I think small stuff like that, you know, as long as your collection's clean, introducing sheds from another snake into another, like my Baird's putting the female shed in with the male, vice versa. I noticed they investigated, they check it out. It's just little stuff in terms of enrichment to get the gears turning. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. See you later.